Hey everybody, welcome to What About Houston. I'm your host, Lara Bell. Well, coming up on today's show, we're 2 weeks into the new year, and if your diet isn't working, we've got one that's guaranteed to. Plus, Jan Glenn is taking us to the museum on this edition of What About Houston. Hi, I'm Lara, wife to a terrific husband and mother to a beautiful little girl. My friends and I love Houston with all of its great restaurants, boutiques, sporting events, and local attractions. There's something for every woman in every walk of life. So join us as we explore everything Houston has to offer, and you'll see why we're wild about Houston. Hey everybody, well, I'm sitting here with Jan Glenn and Lauren Lanning, and we're 2 weeks into the new year, 2007, and we've got really exciting news. Guess what?
What?
Miss Lanning is engaged!
This is hot off the press.
This is just brand new. It just happened this past weekend.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Saturday. I was hosting the bridal extravaganza, and after one of the fashion shows, he got on stage in front of hundreds of people and got down on one knee and asked me if I'd be his Mrs. DeGiorgio.
Okay, you have to show everybody.
And this is a guy who is so shy.
He's so reserved.
And he's up on the stage
That
doing
is
this.
Very analytical. So for him to do that, I was like, oh my gosh.
How shocked were you?
I was extremely shocked. I mean, my first thing was, honey, what are you doing on stage? And he just like looked at me with tears in his eyes and just dropped down and opened the box. I'm like, oh my gosh.
So out of character. Okay,
Yes.
so now when are you getting married?
February 17th.
That's
short.
Yes.
That is
Yeah,
so you got a new bride.
Yes.
That is, oh my gosh.
Okay, so why so short?
You know, there's not really a reason. We know we love each other, and we just want to go ahead and take care of it.
You know what?
So we're doing a small
what I
wedding.
like about that is a lot of people get caught up in the wedding.
That's what we don't want to do. That's what we want. We don't want to do that. We don't want to worry about having this huge extravagant thing. We want to focus on each other and with our family and just take care of it.
So you're a month away.
Yeah, I got my dress at the bridal show. Everything's taken care of. So I just got it.
That's
we got the
do it.
minister. I'm good. So
You went through a big wedding.
We had a
and I
big
didn't.
wedding.
I did a TV show. Bob called me. He said, let's do it today. We did it today. We got married that day.
See?
And then he went off and did the sports.
Yeah, but they got
And that was-
divorced.
I'm just kidding. Now, just kidding. Not that kind of a show. We're not talking
I'm
about
just kidding.
It didn't work out after 12 years, but that's okay.
That's 12 years. 12 years.
But anyway, congratulations.
Thank
We're
you.
so excited.
Thank you.
Great.
I'm excited.
Okay,
All
as I
right,
said,
now.
we're 2 years into the new year, and what I want to talk about is, does your dress fit? I mean, dieting.
Well, she's picked out her dress.
I picked out my
which is
dress,
Great. She's
so it
under
already
all of
fits.
that.
It already fits.
Okay.
So I have to schedule like 2 fittings and then go pick it up. So I'm like,
Okay,
Yes, I'm working out.
did y'all have New Year's resolutions this year?
Not really.
No, I
didn't
My
either.
resolution is not to make those resolutions.
I know.
I mean, I don't like to
That's
do
yours
that.
too.
I don't want the
weight thing and all
pressures.
that.
I didn't
No,
do
so
it.
I didn't do
I
that.
did. I had 2. One I'm going to talk about in a couple weeks, but the dieting. I mean, yeah.
But you look good. You've had a
You look
baby,
good.
and you're flat stomach. How'd you do that? I mean,
Okay, let me tell you guys. I'm back at the weight that I was before I had Brooks.
Okay.
Nice.
But I'm still carrying 15 pounds from Dylan. And it is my goal, 15 pounds.
Wait a minute. That
from
was
Dylan.
3 years ago.
That was 3 years ago.
Yeah, right.
So my resolution is to get that 15 pounds off once and for all.
Okay.
So anyway, so I met this doctor, and he's got lots of diets, just tons of diets. And he picked out 4 of the best that he thinks will work. Mm-hmm. So let's see if any work for me.
Okay.
Watch.
Nice.
Hey everybody, well, it's New Year's, and with that comes New Year's resolutions. Myself, along with several of my friends, have decided to lose weight this New Year's. So I'm joined by Dr. Patrick Hayden, and he is going to tell us some of the pros and cons of some of the most trendiest diets out there right now. How are you?
Very good. Thank
Okay,
you.
I want to start with the Atkins because
Okay.
that is really, in fact, that's the diet that my husband is on. What are some pros and cons of this diet?
Okay, the good thing about the Atkins diet is that with the Atkins diet, they're basically going high protein, low carbs, and high in fat. Now, the bad side to that is
Right.
they actually include the bad fats, like bacon, sausage, things like that. In his theory, though, what he says is that because it's low carb, that you can have that fat. That's up to debate. A lot of people disagree with that. But people do lose weight from the diet. My little 2 cents is get your lipid levels checked, make sure your cholesterol isn't rising.
Okay, another one that's really, really popular right now is the Eat Right for Your Blood Type. In fact, a girlfriend of mine actually got me this book. I haven't read it, but she got me the book.
Okay, blood type diet, basically they believe that your genetic code is in your blood type. So different blood types, you have to eat different ways to be able to lose weight, for energy, for exercise. So they've come up with a whole philosophy in how to eat, exercise, move, think, and feel. So in their diet, it's different for everyone. It's not a set menu. Each blood type is different. And so that's kind of their take on it.
Okay, let's move on to this one, The Zone. Now, I think that Jennifer Aniston made this book, in this diet, probably the most popular. What's some good things about this?
Good thing about The Zone is that they have you eat many times throughout the day. You actually eat 5 times a day.
Wow.
3 of those time are like the larger meals. 2 of those are snacks in between those meals. And their theory is, hey, let's eat protein, carbs, and fat in equal portion throughout the day. That's going to maintain energy. That's going to maintain your body not from getting hungry. But basically, you can eat a lot of different foods. You just have to have it in the right ratio. That's why they call it The Zone.
Because you got to stay in that zone.
Yes,
okay,
absolutely.
what are some negative, or not negative, but some kind of things that don't work about this?
You got to be able to work out how much lean mass you have to know how many grams of protein per pound of body weight. You got to know how many carbs in that. So you really do have to do a little counting, even though they say it's easy. A lot of people don't want to count.
I don't want to count. Okay, and the last one right here is the Maker's Diet.
Okay, Maker's Diet, very interesting. The guy actually got his material out of the Bible. He says in the Bible, it says that when you eat an animal, it had to have a divided hoof or eat by the cud. If it doesn't, you don't eat it. So example, you could eat lamb, but not horse, because it doesn't have a divided hoof. And he goes on and on with fish. Fish you can eat in the middle of the water, not at the bottom. Okay. So it's really just another different kind of philosophy, how to eat, and pretty healthy diet.
Okay, now out of all these new trendy diets out there, what diet really works?
The best diet is the one you'll stick to.
Interesting.
Yeah, everybody has a diet. They're trying to figure out what's the best one. Stay on a diet, any diet, which means a way of living, not a period of time. Stay on at least a month. If your goal is weight loss, make sure you're having that weight loss. If you're not, you need to change. You need to try a new diet to find your identity and which one of these will work for you. So don't be so stuck with, which one is mine. If it doesn't work, throw it away, go on to the next one.
Well, Patrick, thank you so much. This is great advice.
Thank you.
And don't go away, because up next, where you can make gourmet meals even if you can't cook, and Jan takes us to the Museum of Natural Science for one last look at their Ben Franklin exhibit. So don't go away.
Okay, ladies, if the last thing you want to do when you get home from work is cook a meal that takes up time and takes time away from your family, we've got a really good idea. Because with me is Heather King. She is with Frozen in Thyme, and that is the cutest name I've ever heard. Now explain this concept, because I've actually done it, so I know how it works, and I am obsessed with this.
It is a meal assembly business. Our customers come in, they've already pre-registered and selected 8 or more menu items they'd like to prepare while they're here. We have all the ingredients already chopped, sliced, diced, laid out for them with a proper measuring tool in its spots. No guesswork involved. The recipe's right in front of you. You can follow it or make a couple accommodations based on you and your family's tastes, and go through the assembly directions, assemble your recipe, go put it in the cooler, move on to the next station. You can assemble 12 to 16 meals in 2 hours.
You know what I like about this too is the fact that when you do cook, it takes so long to chop the vegetables and to peel onions and all that stuff, and it's so boring. I mean, it's just such boring time. So this is all done for you.
It is. So you still enjoy the sizzle of cooking, but you haven't spent all the time and the labor to chop all your vegetables. We make all of our own sauces from scratch. We've done everything that you would do if you had the time in your own home to do.
And it's good. It's gourmet food, isn't it?
It's terrific recipes. We offer 16 to 18 recipes a month. You're not going to see an awful lot of casserole, quick dish meals, some of the things that you might already have the time to do in your own home. You're going to find, chicken primavera with julienne vegetables. You're going to find our ever so popular coconut chicken that can be oven fried or can be pan fried, so you can customize things a little bit for your taste. But the recipes are such a wide variety, you can't go wrong.
And if you're having a dinner party, you're not lying when you say, I did make this.
You did make it yourself. And you can even make some of those accommodations. You can even pre-order party-sized portions as well that we will go ahead and assemble for you, and you can just pick up.
I thought this was a really cute idea. You guys also do kind of like you let the kids come and cook.
We do. Once a month we have a terrific kids kitchen, which the parents get to come with the kids. The parents still get to make their meals for a month while they're here. But I take the kids aside and we do a separate kids cooking class, which we do a little tasting lab. The kids get to try different ingredients. We usually make a recipe together. They get to take home a treat or a meal for their family, and they take such pride in a meal that they have made, and it really gets them exposed to cooking at a very early age, so hopefully they can carry this on for a lifetime.
It's so cute. Now the name, I love the name Frozen in Thyme. It's adorable.
Thank you very much.
It is just such a cute
name. It's kind of
name.
a play on all the meals are frozen and the herb thyme, which we'll find ever prevalent in a lot of our recipes as well.
Okay, what's the most popular thing that women come in and make?
I would say probably our menu changes every month. Probably this month is our chicken primavera. A lot of that is it's a nice light dish with a light lemon sauce, but it's all those julienne vegetables that are so fresh and in season, and that's probably going to be our most popular for the month.
When I come to places like this and I come home from work, pop the meal in the oven, and it's delicious, and I can spend time with my little girl.
Exactly.
Okay, you said register online, so what's your website?
www.frozenintime.com.
And all the menu and all the information up there.
All the information's there. We do to-go service, delivery service. We have corporate events here at the facility as well, where companies can come and do this as an employee incentive event,
It's a good
private
idea.
parties.
Okay,
It's all
boss.
online.
Let's bring Channel 55 out here. Thanks, sweetie. It looks
Thank you
really,
very
really
much.
good.
And don't go away, because up next, Jan Glenn takes us to the Museum of Natural Science, plus why a flashlight is good for your baby and toddler. So stay with us.
Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm sitting here with Jan and Lauren, the newly engaged Lauren Lanning.
Soon to be. What's your last name now?
Mrs. DeGiorgio.
That's so
I'll be Miss Andrew Thomas DeGiorgio.
very, very
Andrew
cool.
Thomas Lauren
Lanning
DeGiorgio. It doesn't flow yet off the top of your
LLD.
tongue.
That is
Yeah.
so funny. Okay, Jan, what's going on?
All right, here's something for you to do this weekend.
Okay.
Because this is the last weekend at the Houston Museum of Natural Science. It's been there since October, and the Ben Franklin exhibit, which has been celebrating the 300th birthday of Ben Franklin,
Right.
neat.
all right, is going to be ending this weekend. So
I heard it was
you
one of
guys-
their biggest.
It's one of their biggest.
Yeah.
It's been there for a long time. Following it, and I'll tell you about this later on in the month, is the frog exhibit that's coming in,
know.
which I'm
Oh, my
excited
gracious.
about. But anyway, we wanted to share that with you since this is the last weekend that you can go see it. Here's a preview. Benjamin Franklin was one of the most remarkable and influential Americans of any generation. He was a scientist, inventor, diplomat, humorist, philanthropist, an entrepreneur, and the birthday boy. That's right, the birthday boy. This year, America is celebrating Benjamin Franklin's 300th birthday, and it's happening right here at the Museum of Natural Science. And you can come over and experience some of the adventures of Benjamin Franklin. So I come into the exhibit. What's in store for me?
You're going to have the chance to see 250 artifacts from the 18th century, more than half of which actually belong to Franklin or were made by him, and the rest are contemporary. On top of that, there are 40 fun and funky interactives, so there's something for everybody.
So I can really experience some of his adventures.
Absolutely. In fact, you can take your own adventure and travel from Boston to Philadelphia on a computer game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things for the kids as well. I noticed the little squirrel all over the exhibit.
squirrels all
so
over
that
the
the kids
show.
can have a part of this
This
too.
is an exhibition for children from 4 to 104.
Okay. Now, of course, my most important question, where did you get all of this stuff? Because it's really his stuff.
It really is his stuff, and it's like a treasure hunt or a detective hunt. We have 76 lenders from 17 states and 4 countries, and this is the only time in our lifetime that we'll ever see all these things together.
And so you are the guardian of all of this.
I'm the guardian, and it's a great privilege, and it's a great responsibility.
Well, you have really studied him. You probably know more than just about anybody. Out of all of the things that you have learned about him, what do you think is the most important thing that he has ever done?
Most people would say the invention of the lightning rod. It made a huge difference in the safety of cities because of how many houses had previously suffered damage from fire.
Okay, one thing that stands out in my mind looking through the exhibit is the clothing. Now, also standing next to him, you actually have a mannequin that is supposed to be the real thing. It's supposed to look just like him and be like him.
It's the only only piece of clothing that we know that Franklin actually wore, that we reproduced down to the exact fabric. In fact, it's in Houston that people will be able to see this for the first time, because we had the wrong fabric before. It's taken 15 months to weave it in India. It's a special silk. We produced a mannequin that is called a forensic mannequin that fits inside the clothing. So you can stand next to Franklin with his 42-inch waist.